Hi, I'm Nan Simonson. I just got in from a 4-mile hike. I'll be taking off in about half an hour. I've got a pedicure. And I'm making my husband some salad dressing. And here's why. Although I have a fabulous ranch dressing on my site, it's so good. Chef AJ made a big deal about how great it was. It ended up being a recipe of Drina Burton's. She's terrific. In any case, it takes something like 12, 13 ingredients. I don't always feel like making it. The base of it is potato, cooked potato. I've got to have the potato, da-da-da. I just saw a recipe from Forks Over Knives for a easy ranch dressing that I'm going to make for him today. And why not just give him what we bought him the other day, ranch dressing, vegan ranch dill dressing, cauliflower, almond butter, garlic, lemon juice, herbs, shallots. Doesn't that all sound great? Well, 2 tablespoons of this is 60 calories. 6 grams of fat is in this at 9 calories per gram. What is that? 9 times 6 is most of the calories from this is fat. And it's fat not from that almond butter, which I don't know that I would want something to be, 90% fat from even a plant butter, but it's canola oil. And then almond butter, and then these other ingredients. I am a lifestyle medical culinary trainer as well as health coach. And I wrote a book, Aging Powerfully, about how lifestyle as medicine can make a difference in not only how we feel and the way we live our lives, but also longevity. And I teach whole food, plant-based dietary practices because that's what the College of Lifestyle Medicine and the practice I work with, Lifestyle Medical Incorporated in Riverside, California, we encourage our patients to eat as much whole food that is plant-based as possible, or even exclusively, as I do for the last 5 years, and my husband as well. Well, this is not a whole food, not with a processed oil in it, not with this much fat. As a matter of fact, I don't use oils in any of my cooking unless it's to spray something and then just wipe it off again. So I'm saying all of this because we looked at this while he was using it yesterday. We had picked it off the shelf. He was using it on his salad and I started feeling guilty. No, I don't want to spend the time to do the other one right now, but I saw this recipe look super easy. I thought I would make it. Well, if I'm going to make it, I'm going to show you. So let's get started. All right, I have this darling little Cuisinart processor. You could use a blender, or I have a Vitamix, but it has all those ridges that hold so much food when you're trying to get it out. And this isn't going to be that much food. We're going to be starting with an easy ingredient that I really like. Soy, meaning tofu. And in this case, it's what they call silken tofu. Comes in a box on the shelf. It's not refrigerated. It's shelf stable. Is tofu good for you? Heck yes. As a matter of fact, breast surgeon of the stars, Christy Funk, recommends that her patients, whether or not they've ever had cancer, all people, have 2 to 3 servings of soy a day. It's that protective against cancers and for all kinds of health benefits. You may not have that much in a day, but don't fear soy. So I'm using the silken tofu, and you're going to think, doesn't she want to drain it? No, it's not necessary to drain it. It's not that much liquid, and the liquid will actually be probably enhanced with the milk that I'm going to put it in anyway. So I have silken tofu, which is tofu that, and I always use organic. That is let me get back to this. I like this brand, Mori-Nu organic silken tofu. All of my soy products are organic because if they're not, they could be GMO. If they're GMO, they're produced to be able to take pesticides and herbicides right on top of them and not being damaged. No thanks, I don't want that in my food. So I'm going to add some milk to it, plant milk. It could be almond, it could be oat. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use more soy. Why? Well, 1 cup of soy milk has 9 grams of protein. That's equivalent to a cup of conventional dairy. That's equivalent to a cup of dairy milk, which we don't touch on a plant-based diet. I haven't had animal product for almost 5 years. So if I can get a good amount of protein and the isoflavones and phytonutrients, phytochemicals, fiber that I can get from soy milk, I'll go ahead and do that. Could be almond, it could be any other milk. And then I'm going to add some acid, which is a little bit of white wine vinegar and a little bit of lemon juice. You'll see that in the recipe. And I'm going to add seasonings. It can be salt and pepper if you use salt, or a salt substitute. And we're adding to this onion powder and garlic powder. And then I'm going to add herbs. If I had had fresh dill, I would have used fresh dill. I didn't, so I used dry dill. If I had had fresh parsley, I would have used the fresh parsley. Didn't, so instead I'm using dry parsley. But I do have, let me get this out of the way, I do have fresh chives. Consider growing chives. I don't know where you are in the world. I live in Southern California. Chives do beautifully here. They don't freeze in the winter because we don't freeze in the winter here. And you get a really pretty little flower that is edible. I'm going to break that up and put it on today's luncheon salad. And to chop chives, it's super easy. Don't start at one end and just keep chopping. What I do anyway is I'll get a nice flat end, and then I'll chop and add that part to this, chop again, add that part to this, and then just with a chef's knife, make small cuts that give me these really neat little rounds of chive. And that's the way you usually see chives. And the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons. This is a tablespoon, so I just scooped what would be, you know, there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, so I scooped what would be about 2/3 of that capacity in chives. Oh no, I did something wrong. Gosh darn it. I should have, and I meant to, but I got carried away talking, and I'm not going to redo this, so I'll just tell you. I should have blended this beautifully to smooth and then added the herbs to give the herbs a more dominant, not only look, but position here instead of being ground down, but I didn't. So when you do it, do what I say, not what I do. And sorry for the noise. Okay, now this is where preference comes in. And see, it's not bad. It's blended. The herbs are blended into it. I think they would have looked nice if they were more, I'll call it discernible. Okay, this is where options and choices come in. I used, I believe it's 3 tablespoons of milk. I want it more liquid, as opposed to a ranch dressing that a lot of people prefer, which is thick enough to dip vegetables into. I don't like our ranch that way, and certainly not on a salad. We like our ranch to be poured. So I'm going to, you could stop right there. I'm going to taste. Ooh, that's really good. Anything with dry herbs, actually just about anything at all, is best when it has time to sit. And that's why I'm doing this now, going off with the rest of my morning, and then he'll have a nice salad dressing that's been sitting for a little while. I am probably going to add more citrus, and I'll note that on the recipe. And I'm going to add, I'm keeping track so I'll know what to tell you. Probably this will be more than 1/3 of a cup total of milk. But if I were you, I'd just keep adding until it's what you want. All right, that's it. That's how simple this was. I think that's loose enough now without being so loose that it's, well, downright watery. Taste it again. I'm going to adjust the citrus because I want it a little bit stronger. And I'm going to adjust probably put a little bit more salt in it. I think I put less than 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to put a little more. If you don't use salt, then I would suggest a salt substitute just to give it a bit more zing. And that is a nice dressing. It's certainly as nice as this without the calories from fat, the oil, which we don't want. That must have been probably, I don't know, if it's, let's say 50 calories of oil, that was about 3 tablespoons of oil in there. Ooh, no thank you. Am I saying that right? No, I'm not saying that right at all. A tablespoon of oil is 120 calories. We're only talking 60. So 1 serving, 2 tablespoon serving would be a far less than that, but still we don't want the oil. Okay, I'm done. Have a great day. You know, I'm going to subscribe to my channel. I do all kinds of fun things here, and make it a good one. Bye-bye.